Alright, so Squid Game Season 3. This video will be full of spoilers. So this season's reviews are getting more negative than positive. I can definitely see why, and I'm sort of on the fence. I'm sitting in the middle with this season. So one word to describe this season for me would be rushed. A lot of things in this season just felt rushed, and they were just trying to get to a conclusion as quickly as possible. And while yes, the writing was pretty smart, and I was actually kind of a fan of how the show actually ended, I feel like this was just written quickly. Because I'm pretty sure the director only returned for season 2 so he could get paid. Because the first season made so much money that I think Netflix wanted him back and his paycheck was 1,000 times bigger. I mean, who wouldn't? Good on him. He's a fucking squillionaire now. But I feel like more with the side story, not so much like the actual story with the players in the game, but the side stories about the cop, like looking for his brother, the captain of the boat being involved with the Squid Games. I feel like all that was sort of rushed in a way, and they didn't really have an end goal in mind, because these side stories sort of take a back seat, and when you are following them, they're not really intriguing. It's pretty obvious where it's going to go, and especially in like the last episode, like the side story with his brother, when he actually finds his brother on the island, he's on the island for 30 minutes. He's been looking for this island for 2 whole seasons, and he's on the island for 30 minutes, and literally only 30 minutes. There's like a bomb timer going off, and that's all the time he has on the island. So that whole story for that, and he sees his brother from a distance and shouts at him, why? And his brother walks off. That's how that story ends, and it was just so underwhelming. The side story of the girl that was one of the soldiers, but she wanted to get the doctor out because the doctor's daughter was sick outside of the games. I did like that, but again, the conclusion was really off to me. She was about to shoot herself in the face, and she saw the baby crying in the last game, and Jihan sacrificing himself to save the baby. I really liked that, and then she didn't want to kill herself because she had hope that the baby was still alive, which I liked. But then she doesn't end up getting the baby. The baby gets sent to the cop, the main, I forget all their names, but the main game organizer's brother. I don't understand why. That made 0 sense to me. And in terms of the actual games, this season was pretty entertaining in terms of the games. Some of the games were a bit underwhelming, but there's one episode in particular which I think was one of the best episodes this series has ever done, and that's the episode with the hide and seek game. There is so much character arc, development, conclusion. In terms of character building, this episode was by far the best in the whole series. We've got the story of the mum and the son, and they're on separate teams, and the son has to kill somebody in order to survive, otherwise he gets eliminated. And the son throughout the whole series has been a little wimp, relying on his mum to help him out through everything, and it's no different in this episode. And he runs out of time, and he's got 1 minute to kill someone, and he goes after the newborn baby that was literally born in the same episode in the middle of the game. It's hectic, but the mum is like, you can't do that, so kill me instead. He won't do it, so the mum kills her own son. That was absolutely wild. Player 222's baby literally being born in the middle of the game was fucking hectic. That was such a tense moment. You're like, if someone comes in through this door, they're finished. I forget the character's name, but she was like their bodyguard. The one that literally took out fucking 100 soldiers at the end of season 2. Went on a full kill streak. That character ends up carking it, and in the way I least expect. She finds like an exit to the game, and then 222's ex-boyfriend, the father of the son, kills her from behind, not realizing who it was, and not really caring, I think, wanting to get more prize money up there because it's another less player to worry about. And then you also have Jihan going after that guy that wouldn't grab the ammo at the end of season 2 and wimp it out, faked being in the army, and he literally kills him with his bare hands, which is such an unexpected thing for Jihan and this character development we're going through. You'd think he'd never do it, but he's at such a point where he's like, fuck it, I'm killing this guy. So that episode was by far the best. All the other games, as I said, were pretty good. The jump rope game was pretty tense, especially when Jihan's jumping across with the baby in hand. But I knew that 222 wasn't going to make it out of that game alive. There's just no chance of it happening, and I was right. And one of my biggest problems by far with this season was that CGI baby. The baby is like a vital part of the story in the last 3 episodes. Jihan is looking after this baby with his life. But the baby, the CGI was terrible. The baby looked beyond fake the entire time. Every time they like zoomed in on it, it looked worse. That decision to have a CGI baby, I know it's really hard to get a new looking newborn into a TV show or a movie, but maybe just don't film it like they did, because the shots they were doing of the baby, you could tell that it was fake as fuck. The baby looked like a little CGI'd gremlin, and it did not work. It took me out of the show every single time. Alright, I've completely teleported here for a second because I completely forgot to mention one of the other biggest problems I had this season was those VIPs. Holy shit. I know that they were supposed to play the most like snobby, fucking unhumanized, just fucking terrible people, but it was so cartoonish and comic bookish that it was ridiculous. Honestly, sometimes I had to look closer to see if they were dubbed or not, because what they were saying wasn't matching up with their mouths sometimes. It seemed so unrealistic. And they were just the most annoying, cringiest people ever. And it was so over the top. It was fucking ridiculous. Now, in terms of the actual ending, I'm super happy that that fucking old guy fucking carked it. My God, I hated him throughout the whole series. Could not wait till he got what was fucking coming to him, and he splattered, so fuck you. But that last game, although it was pretty tense, I knew exactly how it would end. So my brother walked in, I think it was like episode 4 or something like that. And he goes, I know how it ends. You're going to know how it ends. It's extremely predictable. And I was like, the baby's going to win. And that's exactly what happens. But the actual lead up to the baby winning, that game where they've got to sacrifice one person and the rest go on, I feel like it was a bit of a weak game for the ending, but it made sense in terms of giving Jihan the ultimate hero's send-off. And I feel like they do the baby's dad a bit dirty. He turns into the ultimate prick. He's just the ultimate fucking asshole in that last game out of nowhere. He just turns full psycho, wanting to kill the kid and take the money. And you're like, where has this come from? He's been trying to make up with player 222 the entire series, and then he just turns heel out of nowhere. And extreme heel too. It was a bit iffy to me. And then, of course, to start the game, you actually need to press a button in the middle of the floor. They don't press the button. Jihan throws him off, and he's like, him and the baby are left. So, of course, Jihan's going to sacrifice himself. Again, I do like the ending. It sends off Jihan as the ultimate hero, the ultimate protagonist for this series that we've followed along for 3 seasons. I did like it, but I didn't like it. I sort of felt underwhelmed. And then the actual 25 minutes after that happens, the explanations for the rest of the characters, again, I wasn't a huge fan. The cop, or the detective, sorry, gets player 222's baby sent to him by his brother. I still don't get that. Why is he the one to raise this kid? Shouldn't it have been the girl that was trying to save the doctor? I still don't get that. But then one thing I really did like, the game organizer went to Jihan's daughter and gave her the rest of Jihan's belongings, saying that he has passed away, like he's no longer with us, and it really showed his human side. Through the entire games, he's been trying to give Jihan chances and show him that people are terrible, and no matter how nice you are and what you do, they're not going to change. But Jihan never falls for that, even though there's an episode where it pissed me off so much. He invites him up, he gives him a knife, and he says, kill everybody before they kill you and the baby before the last game. Do you think he does it? And of course, they all try to kill him and the baby in the last game. I know they want Jihan to be the ultimate good guy, but like, fuck me. Like, you're trying to look out for this kid, but you don't do what you actually need to do. I know it's crazy to kill 5 people in their sleep before this main game, but they have already voted that you and the baby are first to die. So I didn't get that. I really didn't get that. Because it shows flashbacks of the guy running the games, I forget his name, of him doing the exact same thing back when he was in the games, killing those people in his sleep before they got to him. And it worked. He won the games. Now he's in charge. But him going to Jihan's daughter's house and giving her the rest of his belongings, I really did like that. It sort of humanized this game leader. And it sort of gives you the feeling that he has changed a bit after seeing what Jihan did for that kid. And then the ending of the whole series was Cate Blanchett setting up the new American US version of Squid Game. Why? I know it's money making, but fucking come on, just leave it. They've got fucking Squid Game US, Squid Game fucking Infinity War. They've got this whole lineup for fucking Squid Game. I hate it. I absolutely hate that. Just leave the series as is. But we're going to get that American version, and I guarantee you it's going to fucking suck. I think the only thing that would make that US series actually really interesting would be the game leader from this series being in that. Him having something to do with it. I think that would make it pretty interesting. So overall, I give this season a solid 6.5 out of 10. As I said, there's a lot I liked about it, but there's a lot I didn't like. It just felt super rushed. So if you've seen this season, let me know what you think, and thanks always for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.